Hello, this is George Alexander. I'm going to set up a quick video here to help guide instructors on the math reasoning team through setting things up on the calendar. You can do a lot with setting due dates in MyOpenMath to match your own course setup. You can go to myopenmath.com and log in as an instructor. You can find your course on the list of courses you're teaching there. Mine is MR Alexander Fall 2024, and let me just give you a little preview that I have this set up with dates showing in the calendar. This is the instructor mode, but you can also always click on the student mode to see what things look like for your students. I have that calendar showing up top. And when you have dates in the calendar, it's really the only thing that students are going to need, because if there's an item on the calendar, students can click on that due date and then click on that hot link, and it will take them out to that assessment to start doing that activity. So it's really very nice working from the calendar in the student mode. And then the student never has to scroll down and open these module folders, find specific things by dates here. The calendar just shows it all for you. I also have quick links turned on for students for those 4 modules, which is simpler than navigating around down below here either, because it does then go in and show what is in that module. You can turn on those quick links if you're back in the instructor mode. Find that module item. Module 1 was where I had it there. The gearbox on anything to the right is how you do settings. Click on modify. What I have checked here is quick links. That shows it in the student's navigation bar over there. That's not defaulted in that way for this first time through, but I realize it's kind of a handy thing to have turned on. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the calendar, and to get things to show on the calendar, let me go to a blank course where nothing's set up. The master shell has no due dates showing. How I did put one exam date on mine recently, but first step would be to go to find one of those homework items. Maybe you want to start even with homework 0 as practice, and again use the gearbox for settings in this case instead of modify. You really don't want to change anything on the item, but the due date is up top here. It's showing always after the end date, which is pretty convenient. We can set a due date for it. That practice homework, maybe September 1st, maybe earlier. You want to get students looking at it the first week. It should be quick to check off, so get students in and doing something. But once you set a due date for one item, it's going to be really easy to set a whole bunch of other due dates. So that's what I want to show you here. Once we have that due date, there it is showing in my calendar as due on the 30th. And what we're going to do from here is now do a mass change. To add due dates to a bunch of other stuff, we can do mass change on assessments. Click on that assessments link. And notice we have all of our assessments for the course listed there. I'm going to check none here, so just so I don't have too many things piled up at once. But if we click the preparations individually for module 1, we can give all those preparations a nice due date, and then navigate forward to change settings. Up the top there, the second tab is change settings, or at the bottom, if it's more convenient, you have a link down at the bottom too. Click on change settings. What we're going to do is take the date from that homework 0 assignment. Homework 0 will be the one to copy from, because that's the only date I have in there. So we'll copy, go down, these are alphabetical, so homework 0, practice on entering answers, going to copy that setting, and really don't have to change anything else there. There are a whole bunch of things if you want in those settings, but recommend really just leaving them alone here. So now all my preps show us the same due date, which is not accurate for module 1, but we're going to fix that really quickly here. Up at the top in the purple bar, you have a calendar link. It's also in the tools on the left navigation menu. Even though the calendar is displaying here, we want to go to the actual calendar where we can edit things. So click on that calendar. And now the really fun thing is this drag and drop editing. Click on that to turn on drag and drop editing. And now we can make all the changes happen for you right away. Whether you have a Wednesday or a Thursday class, you can set those due dates by just dragging the item into place there. For the face-to-face classes, and recommending that you get to unit 1.1, 1.2 through the first week. Give students a little time to pick up those preparations, but you can make them due on the second class day, for example. And then the following week, Monday would be the holidays, so I guess 1.3 and 1.5 can go on Wednesday the 4th, and so on. You can drag these out to match your meeting dates. If you have 3 lessons we cover in a week, I recommend putting them both, 2 of them on the first day of the week and the second one due on the 3rd. Just giving a chance to work at those. But we can move those around, and if you have a Tuesday, Thursday class instead, you can quickly shift them. It does put your last item in on the bottom, so if you don't like the order, you can just drag it and drop it again. It will go to the bottom. 1.5 should be after 1.3, so I'm going to redrop that on the same date and make it go down in place. Put the exam date on there. If there's not an actual assessment in my math lab, you can manage events, and I have that showing as a specific time in the calendar as a reminder for students. You can add more down here. If you want to add the other exams, we could add exam 2, for example, and that was sometime in October. I think it's around the 16th, but check your own, make these match your own calendar from whatever you set up for your class dates. When you're ready, go ahead and click save. You can add more right away, or you can click save, and those are going to show on the calendar. To navigate through the calendar, now is the current date. You can arrow back up into August, or the double arrow will go forward. We'll go forward by the number of weeks that are shown on the top there. So here we can see where exam 2 landed on October 16th. You can change the setting of how many weeks to show if you want to see more at a time. When we're trying to edit the whole course, it's kind of nice to see more dates where we can do some drag and drop things. Now, that's the preparations. If we go back to the department shell and come to mass change once more, we can click on assessments again. And this time I would like to just pick out the exercises for module 1. These directions will have you set up in module 1. I'll include the review as a item for module 1. And again, we'll change the settings on those and copy from, let's say, collaboration 1.9 has, oh no, not collaboration, the preparation 1.9 has a due date now. Sorry, I'm grabbing the wrong one. P for preparation would be late in the alphabet, right? Prep for 1.9. And then we're going to apply that change. Look for the blue boxes in MyOpenMath to make those changes happen. And now that we have a due date for those exercise sets, exercise 1.1 should be happening the first week. Oh, we need to go back to the calendar once more. Click on the calendar link up top. We're still on drag and drop editing. I haven't disabled that, so I can move exercises 1.1 and 1.2 to be due the first week. My recommendation is to have same due date at the end of the week, give students time to do their work. But again, we can just click and drag and move things to an appropriate end date. And now all the exercises are set in place. The review will probably happen on the Monday in class, but we can have it due at the time of the exam by putting it down on the list there. And you can repeat that for modules 2, 3, and 4, but you have more time to get that set up as you get going along the way. You can disable drag and drop editing, but I don't think anything's a problem if you just leave it that way. When we come back to the course homepage, it's now showing that great big calendar. I would trim that down to just 3 or 4 weeks at a time so that the student view is nice and simple and only gives a little preview. Again, you can arrow forward to any time to see more. And then do remind students that they can click on that calendar date, and then the link below is going to give them the access to the assessment item. I hope that helps to give some information on finding your way around that calendar with MyOpenMath. We can talk more about it during our team meetings in the coming week and more. So, get in and try things out, experience things. Hope you have a great start up to your class.